Put some new 4Gs on the Jeep. I trap until my bloody bottoms is underneath. Cause all my niggas got it out the streets. I keep 100.
Hello, beautiful people. I am Jasmin Stith, and I got my girl
Jasmine Smith. I go by J Renee.
Okay, and I go by the Pretty Plug. But today we have a short series for y'all. It's called Uncomfortable Growth. And both Jasmine and I, we've gone through some very unique experiences over the past year, the past pandemic. And we just wanted to start off this series just talking to y'all, just being transparent and open. And Jasmine, talk to us. You know,
doing what we like to do. We like to talk.
We
decided to just do this 3-series podcast because we just felt like we had something to talk about. And why not, you know? And this nice podcast studio that we in. I love a podcast studio. Jazz just saying it's her first podcast studio experience.
Yes. I am so used to doing podcasts in my room. Like, I never went to a studio. I never went to a booth. I just did it on my phone, and I did it like on a mic in my room.
With the actual mic?
Yeah, I had a mic.
With your phone? What you mean? You plugged the mic up to the phone?
So I started off with my phone, and then I just had headphones, and I used Google Voice. Oh. And I did like 30 plus episodes like that.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Come on,
and then
creative.
I elevated.
That's creative. Come on, creative.
I was just like, I need to get this started. And I used Anchor. And then I evolved to having a mic. And my friend Marcus, shout out to you, Marcus.
Shout out to you, Marcus.
He would edit my podcast. And then we would push it out on Wednesdays.
That's dope. Because I had a podcast and I went to a radio station and was like, hi, y'all. How y'all doing? Can I use y'all equipment on Friday nights and that's the last time I think I've been on a mic doing a podcast, really. And that had to be about, that was in 2015, sis.
Ooh. Do y'all know what it took to get Jasmine to this place, y'all?
She talking about me, y'all. She has been asking me for quite some time. Her and everybody else. Actually, shout out to everybody else because, strangers tell me I should do a podcast. Everybody tells me I should do podcasts. So if you told me that, shout out to you too. I just don't be wanting to do them, y'all. And I'm real particular about who I do them with. So here we are. We in Dallas, Texas. You feel me? We in the South with it. You know, ain't nowhere else I want to start out of retirement.
Yeah.
Than the South, you feel me? Because that's where I'm from too. So that's what it's about. And yeah, I'm happy to be here. How you been doing? How you been feeling?
You know something? June was a eye-opening
we
month
still
for
in
me.
June. You said
it's about to be over though. Next
you already out of it.
Yeah.
June was a rough month.
Man, it was an eye-opening month for me. I just got to reality as a dreamer, somebody that just like, I have great faith, like I just see like positive and everything. Sometimes it's really hard for me to see reality, the reality of, you got bills, the reality of you're an adult, you still got responsibilities while you chasing your dream. And June was that reality month for me where it was like, Jasmine, if you don't do something, you need to get your life together. Ain't nobody about to come save you. You need to figure it out, get your life together. I picked up some jobs. I've been hustling. And then I just been getting back to myself on what it looks like to not only be a dream chaser, but also be in the reality of things too.
Wow. So that's more so like practicing mindfulness, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just grounded. As far as like reality and wow.
Being grounded, yeah. I can say I wasn't grounded for a while.
My June has been, it's been pretty lit.
Come on, June.
I've just been traveling, but I guess we should scale it back a bit, and because I don't really like saying post-pandemic.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure if we are post-pandemic, right? But I think a lot to us, and I say us as everybody, is feeling like post-pandemic because things are opening back up. People are out traveling, so
people ain't wearing masks. They ain't been wearing masks in Texas.
Oh, boy, Texas is different. Because I still got my mask on, and they just be looking at me like, I feel like they can tell I'm not from here. They looking at me like, she can't be from here. I'm at the Starbucks with my mask on. I'm at the gas station with my mask on. But it's just so different in different places, and so it's wild. But I guess we should let's scale it back a bit because you kind of got into like a little bit of what you've been doing this month today. But we're both HBCU grads.
Come on. Prairie View A&M University.
Hey, shout out to North Carolina Central University. We love the HBCUs. We always going to rep and put on for that. And we both went to corporate America after we graduated from college.
Yes.
And
We should like talk about that little journey.
What, from like HBCU to corporate America?
I feel like we both have interesting stories.
Do you think so?
Yes.
Did you intern?
Yes. I interned 4 times.
Different companies?
2, yeah. Well, it was 2 different companies, but like 2 different umbrellas. So I interned for General Electric Power and Water, General Electric Oil and Gas, and then Goldman Sachs.
Wow. Yeah, so we have opposite stories because I interned nowhere. So shout out to people who didn't. But I honestly didn't know that interning was such a gateway into like getting job offers. Nobody really told me that.
Yeah.
And when I did learn it, I was already like, it was too late. It was about graduating at that point. Like I couldn't take a summer. I was in school for the summer, so I couldn't really intern for the summer. So I was just taught some blessings. I ain't even gonna lie to you. You know, I don't even know how the school sent me to New York for. They sent me to New York for like a business trip to represent the School of Business, and I was nobody in the school. So I ended up going with Mr. and Mrs. School of Business, which is crazy. I don't know how I ended up going with them, to be honest with you, but I did, and it's my mindset. I knew I was going to be in that room. I'm at a HBCU that people don't know about, you know, and I knew I was going to be in that room with the Yales, the Harvards. And I said to myself, and this is my senior year, I said to myself, I'm going to get a job. I told the people at the school that I'm coming back with a job.
And you did.
And I did. And not only just any kind of job, but at one of the top investment banking companies, you know what I'm saying? Like I went and did the goddamn thing. And I told, and you know, that's something we do have in common, which is faith. You know what I'm saying? I spoke so much faith. I told my parents, I told everybody. I think I was telling strangers like, yeah, I'm heading up to New York. I'm going to get a job, you know, because that's what I needed. You know, you graduate and then you know the pressure be on if you do get a job before you graduate.
Yeah.
Then it's the pressure to make sure you actually graduate because now you have a job. So you gotta graduate.
It's just so much pressure in every step. If we like really look at it, it's pressure once you leave high school to go to college.
Yeah.
And then it's pressure while you're in college to pass your classes, to if you know about interning. If you know about getting a job, and then getting out of school, then going to the job. I mean,
then jumping into adulting and having a job, and then like for my journey, so we worked at the same company, but we were in different states, and we didn't know each other at the time either. So for me, I went all the way out to Salt Lake City, Utah, and so I not only was I jumping into adulting and corporate America and learning those things, I had a lot of a culture shock. Like I went through a culture shock for real, which that's probably the only thing I didn't prepare myself for.
And to be honest, it makes sense that you had a culture shock because you didn't intern.
Nobody prepared me for that.
You know, corporate America as a whole, and this is no shade to corporate America at all whatsoever. It's a different culture, and you going from an HBCU to now you are the minority in every room, in every call, in every meeting, and you walking around. Maybe you got braids, or maybe you don't. Maybe you got your hair straight. Maybe you curly. Like,
and those are the things that we have to deal with as Black people.
Exactly.
As Black people in general, where we're going with our hair and how we, you know, how we are, and so then to just, it was crazy. Like I swear I don't take it back.
It makes sense to have a culture shock because
I swear I don't take it back.
You never did it before. It's like you started your first job and it's like you looking around, you like, where am I at? And you were in Salt Lake.
It was like a double culture shock. So you got corporate America, and then like I grew up around nothing but Black people.
Yeah.
And not on purpose, but that's just the environment that I was in. My schools were Black. I went to public schools in Durham, North Carolina. Shout out to Durham, North Carolina, Bull City. I went to public school, Black, you know what I'm saying? We had one white girl. Shout out to her. I don't know if she followed me. One white girl, and you know what I'm saying? We had, so, and then I went to a HBCU where that's, you know, predominantly Black. You know, my church was Black, you know what I'm saying? The fish fry on Fridays, it was Black. So everything was Black for me. So then I go somewhere like Salt Lake City, Utah, where everything is white. You know what I'm saying?
You have the Mormon culture as well.
That's the only thing everybody prepared me for. God damn it. Everybody Mormons. And I was like, well, wait a minute now. I ain't really worried about that. And the Mormon stuff, really, I barely even dealt with that, to be honest with you.
They pretty to themselves.
Yeah. And like and as a Christian, which is what I am, you know, they want that different than the religion wasn't that different than what I feel like our religion is. They might have a couple additional more rules and things that they go by. Yeah. But even those things, you know, I'm like, cool. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't, because I think people get Mormon and Amish mixed up. So I think people thought I was going to be with the Amish, and so they were trying to scare me with that, but it didn't get me. So I stayed in Utah for a couple years, and then it was my time.
Yeah, and then you went to New York, right?
Yeah, I left. I really wanted to get into radio. I was doing a podcast in Salt Lake City just to practice, you know. And this is at the beginning of the podcasting world, you know, when it wasn't necessarily what it is now. Yeah, it wasn't necessarily what it is now, but I was doing it for practice. My whole intention was to practice how I talk, how I spoke, interviewing people. And I had a co-host, shout out to Woozy, and I practiced with him too, bouncing off the things and the ideas he had as a man. And just, it was fun. And it gave us something to do. You know, we didn't really have a lot to do, so it gave us something to do. And it was really, really dope. And I left there and went to New York. And man, within a couple of months in New York, God opened some doors for me. I still kept my little 9 to 5, you know what I'm saying? And I was able to work at Sirius XM underneath a real personality. And so it's been a journey ever since, you know? So, yeah.
What was it like working under a personality and getting that insight into the radio space?
Dope. I'm going to go ahead and just be honest and say the music industry, the entertainment industry, you know, that we hear a lot of things about a lot of people. So a lot of men are in that space, and as a woman, it could be a lot of uncomfortable positions you're put in, a lot of men trying you, you know. So I was so blessed to have the people that I had. Shout out to Great Rizzy too, and that's my guy. You know what I'm saying?
So many people that she gonna
Sirius
shout out.
XM. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Great Rizzy. Y'all go follow my boy because he's dope. And what I wanted to do was just get my foot in the door and see if I wanted to do radio. I love getting my foot in the door. I don't know who listening to this, but if you are young, even if you old, try as many things as you want to try. I will try everything I feel like trying and get my foot in. And if I like it, I like it. If I don't, I'm out. But I tried it, and so it was dope, man. I met a lot of people. I met Nipsey Hussle. Rest in peace to Nipsey.
Wow. That's dope, Jazz.
Yeah, like, and he was probably my favorite, to be honest with you. He was my favorite before he came.
What was his energy like?
The same as like when you see him in interviews, calm, you know what I'm saying? Hood dude, cool, collected, and got a lot to say, and like he was cool. That's probably my favorite. But I also got to meet people from North Carolina, like Rhapsody, you know what I'm saying, which was a dope experience for me because we come from these small towns where, you know, don't you come from a small town too?
I come from Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
We come from these small towns where we don't see a lot of people putting on. I don't know nobody put on for Pine Bluff. Who y'all got? What celebrity y'all got?
You know, I'm
probably
losing all kind of points.
I was gonna say y'all gotta have one, sis.
I'm pretty sure.
My next shout out go to Petey Pablo. He put North Carolina on the map.
You know, is that his real name, Petey Pablo? I'm not the one for the music, y'all.
You don't know Petey Pablo, but you gotta. That's back in the day where he put on North Carolina, come on and raise up. It ain't ringing no bells. That's crazy. Well, my next shout out is Fantasia.
She came from North Carolina?
Yeah, you know Fantasia, right?
Yeah, I know
all right,
Fantasia.
girl. I was gonna be like,
it's the way she looked at me.
Because I was scared.
She looked at me.
I was scared. I was like, Fantasia. I hope we know who Fantasia is.
Yeah, I know who Fantasia is. I follow her story. One of the most inspirational things is that she didn't know how to read, and now not only does she write, probably compose, sing, and do all the gamut. It's like
my girl.
Never let anybody tell you what you can't do.
Hey, Fanny.
You know what I'm saying?
I love me some Fantasia, boy. That Fantasia. Now we even got it's elevated for us. Now we got Charlotte on there. The baby is putting on right now for Charlotte. We got a lot of stuff coming.
Yeah, y'all definitely got a lot of stuff.
We coming. We definitely coming. Shout out to J. Cole, because we ain't never gonna forget Fayetteville and J. Cole. You know, 2-6.
I think Neo came from Arkansas. I just have to go grand with it.
Yeah. Do the whole as
the
a whole
state, because
did Neo really?
I think so.
Wow.
I think he came from like Camden, Arkansas.
You really did. You digged in your bag for that one.
That was it.
I hope you're right. We gonna look at that joint. He gonna be from Georgia. Nah, but I mean that was pretty much, that radio station was cool, man. I really enjoyed being there. And
Donnie McClurkin or
wow, I know you lying.
Yeah,
not going gospel on the system with gospel.
Hold on, because that's all we got. I'm trying to tell you.
Not Donnie. Hey, but I like Donnie. You know what I'm saying? Donnie be out here, we fall down.
Yeah, I think he's from Arkansas. It's either that or another guy. Don't quote me on any of this.
Yeah, she don't know where these people from.
I am not the person to follow when it comes to who's the music industry, whatever. I'm not the one.
She don't know. Because her specialty is different. Music is mine, entertainment is mine, but when it comes to the pretty plug, you feel me? She just your plug, you know? Yeah, and if you know what a plug is,
I be knowing people.
They just connect you, all right? What you need. I can connect you. I know, and if I can't do it, I know somebody that can do it, and that's why I'm the plug. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I'm the plug. Really, I'm the plug.
Okay, she know that song though. She know that one, so she really just the plug, and you know all things marketing, social media, and
you know, I'm over here revamping. You know, you haven't been in a space where
you revamp, but the skill set don't go nowhere.
Yeah, so I definitely know a lot about social media. I know a lot about marketing, obviously podcasting. I know a lot about
and a black engineer. We absolutely black woman engineer at that. You know what I mean? That's always been big. You know what I'm saying?
It's not many of us.
It's not, surprisingly, even at 2021, it's not. And so that's why we got to make sure we point that out. And engineering, it's not that many women that go into engineering, correct?
Yeah, not that many people that go. Not many women that go into it. Probably not a lot that stay, but. You talk about the rooms that you went through. It's even smaller. Like in classes, it's like 3 women in there.
Even at the HBCU, was it just like a bunch of black men and then a couple of women?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just like.
Does that help you get used to being the only? No, not used to.
It helped me get used to men.
Does it help you get used to just being the minority in a sense because you're always around men?
I think so. You just get used to not seeing you. In other spaces, and you get used to that advocate. It's not really there. That mentor, sometimes it's not really there. You kind of get used to like self-taught mentorship online, finding people online that can mentor you.
And that's a great thing too. I think we don't talk about that. I'm glad you said that. That was nicely said. People always listen. You can mentor yourself. It's great to have a mentor for sure, and I always recommend people get one. Everybody should have a mentor, but if you can't get one, listen. I got mentors in my head that don't even know me.
Yeah,
women I follow on Instagram that I watch their stories, and they're just giving out so much information, so much about wealth and finance and family, and like that's my mentor. She don't know me.
Yeah.
So you got to do what you got to do to kind of pivot in that regard, and don't be. A lot of people be scared to ask people to be their mentor, and like,
but it's a partnership.
It is.
I know when I was in college and even when I was in corporate, I used to mentor a lot of people. And what I loved about my mentorship relationships is they would come to me too.
Yeah.
It wasn't just
and that's how it should be.
Something. It was a partnership.
It should be reciprocity in that relationship. Absolutely. But you also got to know, like a lot of my mentors are so busy. Yes. They're so busy, and so like you have to be flexible with them. You know what I mean? If I shoot her a text and she don't text me back, it's like, all right, she gonna get back to me. Yeah. And if she don't, like, it's not taking it too personal sometimes because everybody has their life to live and things like that.
That's what I was gonna say too. Like your mentors, they can be there for seasons of your life, and then you
for sure
have to get, may have to get new ones just because they're your mentor for a reason. They're somebody that's a go-getter. They're
flexibility
achieving,
works.
And they go through things in their life as well.
And that's something that I always liked about mentors. Like some people don't like. Do you like? I want to see my mentor go through a down season, and I think a lot of people don't care about that. And I want to see all sides of you because if you my mentor, and granted you can have mentors for different things, right? A mentor in whatever field you're working in, a career mentor, you know what I mean? Different things. But I like to see, if I have a career mentor, I want to see what her bad days look like when we in this career, because that's the truth of that's the reality of what I might be looking forward to or having to go through in the future, or just seeing how you navigate that. And I can learn from that. Like the whole point is to learn from the mentor, right? And so like I like to see my mentors have, not that I want them to have
bad days.
I ain't speaking though, I don't want them to have bad days, but I like to see if I call my mentor and she ain't in a good mood or she having a bad day or just a bad season of life right now, that's okay. Like I can speak life into her just like she speak life into me and be like, it's gonna be okay, you got this, you can do this. And I think that's just as important. And I do that with all my mentors. I check on all of them, and we all navigating out here. We winging it. You feel me?
It seems like we need to talk about uncomfortable growth.
That's what it is, ain't it? That's what it is. Because growth is uncomfortable in so many different areas of life, especially like I'm in my late 20s. Oh my God. That's the first time I've ever said that.
I'm 27. I'm in my late 20s.
Oh, Lord, you in your late 20s?
Next year I'll be 28.
I really thought you was going to say, I'm in my early 20s. I'm like, Lord have mercy. I'm in my late 20s, and I'm approaching my 30s, which I'm dumb excited about.
Yeah.
I don't really know that many people that get excited about their 30s, but let me tell you something. These 20s, they wore me out. You won 20s, but I'm out of here, baby. I'm going to the 30s where we going to do something different. You know what I'm saying? And I'm excited about 30. People say 30 is where, things, elevate. And I'm excited about that. So
is next year 30 for you or 29?
I'll be 29 this year. So next year is 30 for me.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So 29, you still got another year before you hit that 30.
Yeah, and I'm really out here just trying to live. That's why I was so long to get me out of retirement, child. I was out here trying to live quietly as I could and on the low. And as I could.
Okay, so we got two different perspectives. I've taken some seasons during the pandemic to be on the low, and Jazz has been on the low for a while. I think we should talk about both. Being more so I'm not a celebrity, but like in the spotlight, I share things. I'm always on the internet.
Always. Story always booming, always encouraging people. That's what, always, like, always putting people on. That's what you be doing.
So let's talk about both sides, maybe the pros and the cons.
Okay.
What were the pros of during your 20s really staying to yourself, evolving, elevating, healing, learning, growing? What did that look like for you? What were the pros of that?
The pros of that would probably be like I could learn in peace.
That's good.
I could fuck up in peace. You know what I'm saying? I could mess up in peace. And but see, like I'm very much when I learn something, I like to tell people. Like and I think that's something we have in common too. I like to share. So that's one of the pros of it too. I want to get on social media and be like, look, now you know, this happened and I responded this way. Or like even now at where I'm at right now in life, I'm learning so much. I follow so many parenting therapists, and like I don't have children, but like I'm applying it to the kids that are around me, you know, and the things that I'm learning and in practice for when I do have kids. A lot of pros to that, but also like it's the uncomfortable growth aspect of it, you know. Like I like to share those moments sometimes, but then on the negative side, the con side of it is like sometimes sharing those things, it opens up a window for people, and this is the part that I don't like about social media. It opens the door for people to say stuff, and that's where you lose me. That's where I be in my DMs firing off, boy. I be people be in my DMs, and I be going like, and I try to be polite. I like to be polite, but I think people just be saying whatever they want. Like some stuff don't make sense, you know, to me at least. You know, if you see somebody wearing a jacket, why do we wear jackets?
'Cause you cold.
Why do you got to DM me and ask me why I'm wearing a jacket? Even if I'm somewhere that you think is hot, even if you see me in a jacket, it means that I'm cold. And so like it's stuff like that I'll be responding to in my DMs. Like I think that's stupid. I think it's stupid for you to ask me why I have a jacket on. I think it's dumb. I'm gonna respond back and tell you like it's dumb, you know. And then I feel like everybody got different body temperatures. We all run on different temperatures.
So someone in your DMs literally asks,
I get that every time. I'm always cold, just for the record. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it. I'm always cold. People, I get that a lot.
Wow.
Because I be in jackets.
Your size and your height.
Like, I mean, look at us right now. Yeah. Jazz ain't got no sleeves on. I got sleeves on. Because we in this room. It's cold in here to me. You feel me? So I always come prepared, and that's why I like the summertime. In the summertime, I'm dressing for two different weathers, you know?
Yeah.
It's hot outside, and it's hot here in Dallas. Texas hot. Houston was hot. Dallas is hot. It's hot. So when I walk outside, I am hot in this long sleeve shirt.
Yeah.
But I'm come inside.
Yeah.
I'm cold, so I have to keep a jacket on me, you know?
I agree.
So,
this is a nice temperatured building, though, because normally I'm cold, too.
It's not even that cold in here. Yeah. Like, this long sleeve shirt is perfect because y'all might see me in a dang long sleeve shirt, jacket, you know what I'm saying? Because you never know where you're going. And most places are cold because most people, the majority runs pretty warm for the most part. People want, the air on. So that's what I would say the cons for me, that's what keeps me kind of low. Like, if I have a low season on, that's what it is. I'm tired of people talking to me.
Yeah.
I'm tired of people reading into the stuff that I post. Sometimes it ain't about me. You know what I mean? Sometimes if I do 8 posts about, women getting played by men, that does not mean that Jasmine is getting played by a man. It just means that, hey, this is funny. One, it could be funny. I know a lot of women that has gone through it, so I post it. And so sometimes I get frustrated with people just the assumptions and things like that, and that's my own barrier that I have to work through for sure. Yeah. But yeah, the pros of it is that you get to talk to a collective of people that all from different places going through similar things. And I got mad internet friends that I ain't never met. You hear me? But they cool. They're the homies. And if we ever do meet, especially in the radio space, it's just dope. A lot of that has happened in the music industry, people that was coming up together at the same time. And then when they finally got to a place where they was booming, it was like, I met her back in the day, And so that's the cool part about social media to me, You can have a friend in Japan.
You can. I have so many people I've talked to that I've never met before, so I can hit my pros and cons. So my pros is that I've been able to express myself, any ideas that I've had, any resolutions I've had, any content that I wanted to put out there. It's a space that I've used, and people have been attracted to it. I've galvanized thousands at this point to be able to not only see my journey, but I've been walking by faith, right? And the cons of that.
Tag. She threw the tag in there. Walk by faith.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't even know if I did the pros. The pros is I get to share. I get to help other people that I have never seen. I get to, somebody will DM me and be like, man, what you said helped me. Or, even on my down days, I've had people that encourage me,
Yeah.
So it's been a mechanism to share and to express and to see your impact without actually feeling your impact. So like you know it's there, but let's say when I meet the person in person, or like I go to an event, they're like, Jazz, I know you. I'm like, oh crap, like what's good? Like I'm never somebody that's gonna not be the person that I was online in person. I'm gonna be the first person to speak. I'm gonna make sure that if it's awkward, like I'm gonna be like, hey, that's kind of me, because I'm
not
extroverted.
run up on me. So if they be running up on you, do not run up on me like that. I swear to you. But I'm gonna be nice, but God, they be running up on you in the grocery store and stuff like that.
Well, no. Like if I go to some type of conference.
Okay.
So this was before the pandemic.
Let me at the events. Don't run up on me in the grocery store.
This was definitely before the pandemic. Now, the cons of that is it's like I'm growing up on the internet, and I've gone through
it's crazy
relationship things. I've went ghost on social media before, and people will ask me, where the heck are you?
Yeah,
that
is a con, because when you're so constant, and like we gonna be real honest in here. I called Jazz the other day and was like, well sis, you've been quiet on that social media, and I know that's not a good sign, so where are you? And that is one of the cons. You can't even take a break in peace.
It's a big con, because it's just like you said, like you get to mess up in private. It's like, well, I'm going through my own journey and I'm going through my own stuff, and it's just like sometimes I don't want to be on there because I'm in the midst. I'm going through it. I'm in that journey, and it's like some people are good at still showing up in the midst of their journey. And I've learned about myself, like, because I'm such a positive person, if I can't bring that energy to other people, like I don't want to share. You know what I'm saying? Like,
really? So like if you're going through a down season, you don't really like sharing?
I don't like sharing, because
I be on my Instagram story, tears rolling down my eyes. But that's because, like I said about mentorship, I like to show all sides. I think it's important to show. And then people talk about this on social media all the time, about how like everybody shows their highlights, and nobody shows, you know what I'm saying?
But like it's not even the highlights. Like I will tell you, like in my stories or in my photos, like I'll tell you maybe everything's not going right, but if I physically can't muster up some type of a smile, or if I'm gonna get on there and like I'm so emotional and so sad and so down, like I don't want to contribute that to
that's
society.
Crazy. I be on there like I will literally post and be like, no smile today, but I'm gonna try, and I'll force myself to smile, because I think it's something into that too. But I had a thing on social media, a consistent thing, where I would run down the steps playing a song and smiling every morning. On my way to work.
And I remember that.
I did it for me, to make myself kind of jumpstart my day with a smile. But there were some days where I didn't feel like running down the steps smiling. I would be like, I ain't got no smile today, y'all, but have a great day. And I did that so consistently, and
I miss that.
I
remember that. That was that New York stuff. You can do that in New York. Like if
I miss that too.
Not in New York, you ain't got no steps to run down.
and so it eventually stopped, because I had an elevator building, and so I didn't have steps. But so many people loved like seeing me do that, and it jump started their day and made them smile and things. But there were days where I didn't have a smile, and I'd be like, I don't have it today, y'all. But I even enjoyed those days, because those were my honest days where I'd be like, I ain't really ready to go to work. I ain't got no smile. I can't even fake a smile. And so like I do like the community that came a part of that. Like so many people, and I would be like, y'all smile back. I would get so many videos of people smiling. And that's ain't it? That's the positive thing about it. Like, but I like showing my down days sometimes.
You
can't be crying on that too much.
I guess for me, what I've learned, and this is me being completely honest, since high school, since college, I feel like I've been pretty consistent in like elevating. I've been pretty consistent in like, okay, this is the next step, go through this path. The moment that I decided entrepreneurship and deciding to like leave my job, like that's when everything did do. Like I was
done pretty good with that journey. At least showing the journey on you've been pretty transparent. I mean, you're a transparent person, period. So you've been showing that journey the whole way through, I think.
I think so.
I think so
I
too.
went ghost during one of my seasons in 2020.
I think you've been doing a hell of a job, because you do better. Like I said, I mean, she's a lot more present. I think you're a lot more present than me, and a lot more transparent. You're super transparent on that, which is good, because like you said, it gives you that community. You know what I mean? People encouraging you, and it's always up to have strangers encouraging you. Like, I like that.
Well, what do you feel about it's only strangers? What about real life humans that you connect with every day?
Yep, the strangers talk more than the people that I actually know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would. A lot of it's not that your friends and your family or the people that you know, they don't watch you, but it's just like because they already know you, they don't pay as much attention.
It's different. But then sometimes, I mean, I'm not gonna say they don't hit me up too, because I love. Let me just go ahead. I love when people write me and be like, "I heard this in your voice." I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like when they see that, or they'll see me in a video and be like, "This person sounds just like you." Like, I like stuff like that. So, and those most of the times, those are the people that know me, my family and friends. But as far as just like random engagement. Yeah. It be the strangers, and I be talking to them. I talk to them. I be checking in on them. I got people I ain't never met, and I be like, "Hey, how you doing this month?" And so I like that.
Yeah. So pros, just to wrap up mine, pros is that you get to see the impact. You get to know that whatever you've been going through or the experiences that you've gone through, you're helping other people in that journey. Cons of that is just like sometimes when you're in your journey, you may not want to show up all the time, and you may be just in the midst of that, and sometimes you don't. It's not that you don't get to show up, but it just looks like you ghosting whatever you're working on, which can ruin your credibility sometimes. And
your business, you know what I mean? Because a lot of social media is about being consistent. You know, that is the key.
I remember when I went ghost in 2020, I lost like 400 followers, something like that.
That year never happened. I don't even remember It never happened. We all should try to forget it. That was crazy. Like just the thought of being like, man, I am excited that I get to tell kids about this year. Like there will never be like 2020. Man, we get to tell kids all type of stuff. Like we couldn't even go outside. Outside was closed.
And that's the funny part. Like I went from walking by faith, like in New York, to walking from like my bed to my desk. There was nowhere to walk.
We couldn't even be. And it's wild. I just told my parents this the other day, because I live in New York, and that was by far, I was super scared. It happened in New York first, and New York and Cali, I think, around the same time. But in New York first, really, where they had the National Guard out there. This is before it hit the news, before we knew anything that was going on, and just I could feel. I don't know if anybody. I could feel the fear on the subway. Yeah. On my way to work one day, like, because we kind of knew something was happening,
but you didn't know what.
We didn't know what it was, and so you could kind of feel that fear on the subway. And I don't know how many of y'all know about them subways, but they be crowded, they be packed. So I'm on there with 1,000 people, and I can feel that we don't know what's going on, and we scared, and we even scared to be on the subway right now. You know what I mean? And
that spread.
Yeah, you know, fast. And this is before mass, you know what I'm saying? So we just riding on the subway trying to get to work, you know what I'm saying? Everybody in their bad attitudes, because that's New York culture, you know what I'm saying? And so it's 7:00 in the morning, everybody got bad mood, and we don't know what's going on outside, but we know something's going on. Yeah. And I was super scared. And I remember the day, okay, that I was going to go into that office and tell them goodbye, because I didn't know what was happening, but I knew whatever was happening, I was going home. Yeah. And that same day that I went in there to tell my manager in HR, hey, y'all gonna have to do what y'all gonna have to do, but I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Was the day that they was like, it's a pandemic. And that was the day I think everybody learned what the term pandemic even meant. So what a hell of a year, sis.
You know what? What we gonna do is rest in love for
Absolutely.
2020. All those experiences, all those life lessons, all the isolation, all the uncertainty, all the whatever that was, it's gone. We in 2021. It ain't gone, sis.
We still got COVID hanging out.
I know,
here.
but like that energy,
it's still here.
You feel the energy still?
The COVID energy?
I feel like it's
50-50.
Yeah, it's a little lighter.
I say it's 50-50. But see, and it just depends on the state you're in. Because like if you come here to Texas and you hang out here long enough, it will feel lighter here. But does it feel lighter in New York right now? You know what I mean?
Yeah, when I went out there, everybody still had masks.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I think it just depends on where you're at, you know, because even like Florida, you stay in Florida long enough, in Atlanta, it feels like, it can feel like it was post.
Shoot, during the pandemic in September 2020, Atlanta, I was scared because nobody had masks on.
Yep.
In September.
Talk about it. We had Thanksgiving in Atlanta, and I was down there like, whoa.
Y'all just out wilding.
Still walking in stores with my mask on. And so, like, it just depends. But, like, now we're half of 2021. Yeah. Where stuff is changing. And we all are trying to readjust back to what we thought was normal. But, like, even that's that's cool to me now what we have going on. Like right now is the best time for us. What's happening in the job space right now?
Yeah.
It's kind of cool, kind of not. You have a lot of people challenging the work day schedule, the work week schedule.
Yeah.
Like people are quitting, okay?
A lot. I saw it. It's like
a lot.
The hugest like quitting
because we don't want to go back into work, and we shouldn't have to. Like
you just completed.
I promise I have no benefits.
Plus.
I have no benefits of going back into the office, and so like you have that going on, and then you have people telling their jobs, okay, well we'll come back, but only 2 days.
Yeah, 2 to 3 days a week.
People like, I ain't coming back for 5. You know what I mean? Yeah. And this is the perfect time to change what was normal and to create something new. And so like, but what it did for us, like being home like I think right now I seen on Twitter just the other day that only 3% of black people want to go back to work. Yeah. And we didn't know that. I didn't think the number was going to be that low. I didn't think it was going to be single digits. You know what I mean?
I mean, to be honest,
3%. What does that say about the work culture?
When I was in corporate America, I remember like when my work from home, I just felt like it was so much more at peace. Like I
was making a pot roast.
It's just lunch. Like I had my regular clothes on. It's just like the pressure.
Netflix playing, you know what I'm saying?
The pressure of working just went down because you still get your work done.
Yeah, but you in your own space. You go in your own bathroom. You don't have to share it. You know what I'm saying? It's your own bathroom. You eat your lunch break when you feel like it out your own kitchen. So now you eating your food that you done paid for. Yeah. Cook you a meal. You know what I'm saying? I was in there cooking a whole breakfast. On calls, on Zoom, just making breakfast, and like that's been nice too for the mental health aspect of it. You know what I mean? In my opinion, because I don't like being in the office for 8 hours a day. You know what I mean? But at least if I'm watching a little Netflix, you know what I'm saying? Eating the food that I want to cook. You feel
like you have more of that work-life balance that people talk about.
Absolutely.
Because now, when you do have to shift back, you're in a building and that was the problem I had with it. It's just like, I can't be in another building. I can't be multiple places.
I just be over it. Free me.
9 to 5, like just you're in that building. But again, please. I understand
free me.
The purpose of it. You know what I'm saying?
What's the purpose?
The purpose of working.
Of working.
Yeah,
okay. I thought you were saying the purpose of the building.
What you don't kill, you don't eat. Like
the building ain't got nothing to do with nothing. But no, that makes sense. Yeah. And now I'm in a space now where I do have to return to my office in a couple of months, and like I've been thinking about the first day and how much anxiety I'm gonna have. Yeah. Even stepping foot into the office, like I've been trying to figure out, like, am I even gonna make it in there on the first day? Because I'm probably gonna sit outside and have to breathe a little bit, like
with a little paper bag.
I'm gonna have to sit outside and call my manager. I'm gonna be a little late. I'm outside, but I'm trying to breathe. Like I have anxiety coming back into this office, and like a lot of offices are doing where your mask at. When you're walking around the building, but at your desk you don't have to, and like they're taking precautions, which I really, really appreciate, that they're doing so many precautions. But I have anxiety just thinking about going back into there, you know what I mean? Being around people and this still being out here. So it's been a lot of talk about that on the social medias too, which is dope. So that's going on right now. That's the career thing going on.
Do you even think like what makes change and wave on social media actually impacts the larger thing?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think we leading. I think social media leads so much at this time. And that's on a bigger scale for like the whole world. But like, they listen to us talking on the social media, you know what I mean? I think they're taking heed to those things, for sure. And all these companies pay attention to social media. It is the leader. It is where people are voicing all that. It got thousands and thousands of people voicing how they feel about things, their opinions about things. It's our news. It's where we get to see the news. We were just talking about so that's the career world. That's what's happening post-COVID career. But even post-COVID craziness that's going on out here. We got, a uptick in mass shootings and stuff like that. That was kind of happening in the beginning because people have been inside so long, and things happening with the airlines now where they're charging a lot of more money, and fights are happening on mid-air. 30-something thousand feet up in the air, and people fighting. People are trying to hijack planes, and that's new. People are trying to conspiracy theorists are being like, we all need to die, and they trying to hijack you ain't seen that? They're not trying to get into the cockpit. I don't know if people know this, but after 9/11, you cannot get into the cockpit. So they've been trying to open the plane door. And I've seen videos of them having to lock them down and divert the plane and land. That's traumatizing. That's traumatizing.
It's very traumatizing.
Wherever we land is where I'm staying. I know you're lying.
I've been seeing, I think a lot of body imaging things, the BBLs.
That just popped off yesterday, and that's a large conversation because, like I said, there was a woman that tweeted, and I don't know the woman, so I can't quote her, but she's been going viral for tweeting and talking about how that just speaks more to what we have in our community, body dysmorphia, and how big body dysmorphia is in our community. And I have a little bit of experience with body dysmorphia, and it's wow. Do you know what body dysmorphia is?
Talk to me about it.
It's pretty much where you're like, even though you can look in the mirror, whatever you look in the mirror and see, and I'm not going to give the actual definition. I do not know the actual definition, but you believe you're bigger or you look different than what you see.
Oh, wow.
So like, if I stood in the mirror right now and I felt like, I was 400 pounds, you would be able to tell that's how I felt about myself through when I talk to you and things like that. And so it's believing that your image is different than what it is. And but that's a big one for our community, and it's not discussed enough.
It's not. Well,
and I like to tie it to the BBL conversation. I'm not saying about people that get BBL. I ain't saying all of them have body dysmorphia. I'm just saying like that is pretty prominent in our community. And the BBL thing going crazy because they couldn't go down there and get them girls, and now they going to get them. Get your girl, do your thing.
And
do your thing.
I think maybe this will be for like our second episode, but like the way we view ourselves and like how we are constantly trying to change what we already were given.
Yeah.
Like it's like I'm looking at my body and it's just not enough. What is enough? What is the standard?
Yeah.
And the people that, because I think if you're honest, like the Kardashians and those, they have set like some type of beauty standard, but that standard,
I really don't like them. Have they really?
But when you think about the body shape of the Fashion Nova girl,
I just don't like them women.
When you think of the Fashion Nova girl, like that's what the bodies begin to look like.
And people be out here supporting them, buying their clothes and buying their stuff.
Yeah, so
I'd be upset.
So
buy black.
So for me, it's
Good
just
Lord.
like the standard was us in the beginning, as far as like the shape, the hips, the butt, the what have you. But it's just like it's just been morphed into, well, it has to look this way.
Did you see that video yesterday where it was like
I saw him on a wheelchair. It just seems like a
the way
lie.
you said it was just funny. It was so many women coming back in wheelchairs and like, man, y'all be safe out there. I never care what people decide to do with their bodies. I'm not one of those people that have a strong stance on that. Like, whatever you want to do with your body, shorty, do it with your body.
I just get concerned.
Same goes for men. I'm inclusive. It goes for everybody. Whatever you want to do to your body, do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm
just concerned. I don't care what you want to do, but I'm concerned because I've seen like celebrity women that say, well, they go and take the stuff out of their body, or like it caused some type of implications. Like I'm the person that goes on YouTube and looks at all the stuff that goes wrong. I don't know. It's just interesting.
You
to
like
me.
Pimple popping too?
Yeah, stuff like that.
Disgusting.
But in general, I just hope that any decision that someone makes about their body or any investment that they make towards their body, that it gets them closer to feeling that self-love that, that they're desiring, to look at themselves and to say, I'm completely okay with who I am and what I contribute, and my outer appearance is great, but also my inner thoughts, my inner being, and the things that I think about myself also match what I'm getting on the outside.
Post-pandemic going crazy. They going down there to get them bodies done. But also, this ain't the time to get it. It's the summertime. You get that done in the winter, and then you pop out in the summer. Like, right. I thought that's how that went. But, since everything's just open, it's just mad stuff going on. They got a labor shortage going on post-pandemic where
people don't want to work.
People don't want to work. And it ain't even that people don't want to work. They shouldn't work in some of these places where they're not getting paid what they deserve. Minimum wage conversations are happening right now post-pandemic. Like, we're changing a lot of what was normal. You know what I mean?
You think it's gonna settle down in 2022? Like everything's gonna mellow out. We're gonna have like more money, disparity, equal things.
I feel like it's hard to say because and I think everybody feels this way, because when it gets cold outside, that's where a lot more colds, flus. We don't know what's gonna happen when the winter time comes around, and you know what I'm saying. We still navigating this COVID thing, so I do think that we won't go back to being closed down like we was in 2020. I don't think that's ever gonna happen again at this point. Like, capitalism is too strong. They need their money. Like, people was losing so much money. Restaurants shutting down in New York. Restaurants that had been open for years, 20, 40 years, shutting down because they can't afford it. And so, like, I don't think that'll happen again. And then a lot of businesses was booming.
Yeah.
during the pandemic too. So I don't know. That's a good one, sis. I don't know. But some of this stuff I like. Keep your 6 feet from around me. You know, this cleaning thing. A lot of places been cleaning still. I like that. You know what I'm saying? I think we should keep those traditions and things going. I feel
like the cleanliness of making sure that you're wiping the sanitation of it all.
Yeah, the mask. I'm gonna keep the mask going. Like, think about how less we get sick. I like that. I'm at the grocery store. I'm with it. I'm with those things that are happening. But it still seems like, you know. Then we think about the kids going back to school. Because I know in New York they're going back into the schools. And what about kids that was born in 2020 that never been to the Walmart? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They touching stuff and they, you know, never been around people in the grocery store. It's different experiences for them. Or the kids that didn't get to go to school. School was horrible for these kids.
Yeah,
horrible.
I couldn't imagine.
And then they don't even want to go back. My nephew was like, I gotta wear a mask for 8 hours. I'd rather just stay at home. Like, when they did the flexibility option of, like, wearing a mask and going in or just staying at home, he was like, nah, I'm going to stay at the house. And I'm like, I get it. Yeah. Because kids ain't finna keep that mask on for 8 hours, sis. Come on.
That's a lot.
Come on. Who's doing that? How you going to talk to your like, come on. They're not doing that. And so, it is a lot. But, you know, to be on the other side or at least navigating through the other side, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy that we went through that we going to talk about it as we get older. And all of that. Remember, did your mama ever say to you, like, outside ain't going nowhere?
No.
Your mama never said that to you?
I don't remember. I don't think she...
Your mama ain't never been like where you was rushing to get outside to play with your friends or something like that? Or you was trying to just hurry up to go outside? Your mama be like, outside ain't going nowhere. Do that homework right.
Yeah, and outside did go somewhere.
Outside went somewhere in 2020, mama.
It went
I can't even use that on my kids. I ain't even gonna be able to say that because I'm gonna be remembering the year that outside went somewhere. You know, shut down. Okay, well, we did lose outside, so like that's the thing about that. So I don't know. It's been crazy, but we here. You feel me?
We are here.
We're here in Texas, and so it's a joy, and we here together. You know what I mean? Because I ain't seen you in a long time either.
I ain't seen you since 2019.
Is that when it was?
Yes.
Oh, that don't seem that far. Shh. Was it the last time we sat down and had brunch together before you left New York?
We were at dinner.
Yeah, before you left New York.
It was heavy. It was dark.
Because you was leaving New York. It's never friends leaving the city, man. You be like, dang, you know.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I'm probably coming back.
Hey, shout out to the city. Look like I will be back.
How you feel about that?
I don't.
Okay.
No, I'm cool with it. I've been cool about it, but I think I've been cool about it because I've been gone for so long.
Yeah.
For the pandemic.
So you got some time.
I feel refreshed. Like, I feel like I don't even remember what the sidewalks look like. But the minute I get back to New York, I'm probably gonna be like, oh Lord.
You gonna smell that trash?
Yeah. The minute I get back, I'm finna be like, you gonna
get that metro ticket.
The minute I gotta buy that thing, the minute I get on the subway and I hear somebody showtime, I'm be like, Lord, free me, Jesus. You feel me? So, but I ain't sad about it. I ain't sad. I'm more sad about having to go back into an office that I don't want to go into. But I'm not sad about returning to the city. Like, I think it'll be cool. Like, watching Juneteenth go down in the Prospect Park and seeing everybody be outside. There was a video of everybody doing the electric slide all in the street. Shout out to my black people, man. Stuff like that warm my heart. Man, I love being black so much. I love us. I love us. For real. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
I wouldn't. I don't know what I would do if I wasn't black.
I don't want to be nothing else. You heard me. And so, shout out to my black parents. I kept the curse word out, Daddy. But shout out to y'all. I was gonna say my black ass parents, man.
And she didn't keep it out. Shout out to you, Mom and Dad.
Absolutely. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? And so I'm happy that we made it. I'm even happy that we're here, sis, that we could do this episode. And so thank you for coming out here today to talk with me. Anytime we got uncomfortable growth, y'all. With the jazzes.
With the jazzes. Jazz and jazz.
Crazy to meet people that got your name. And then so close too.
It's so really, close. Really wild.
I really don't know that many black Jasmines, to be honest. I feel like it's a bunch of them.
It's a lot. Like, that's a common black name.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really?
It's a lot of black girls that have.
And then I never meet them that spell them the way that I spell mine. Most of them they spell them like
your mom.
Shout out to the E's. Anybody got the E on their Jasmine?
I got the E.
Gang, gang.
And I got the T on my Stith because it's not Smith, it's Stith. And I have a whole Twitter that I can't get access to that says not Smith, but Stith. Because everybody always would be like, you're getting your last name wrong. Your name has to be Stitch. It has to be Smith. It has to be Smithy.
Smith's so damn common. Don't nobody. I don't want that. It's a common last name. Nobody. Jasmine Smith is common.
Yeah, and I'm just like, no, I am Jasmine Stith. Period. That's my last name with a T.
Weak. I'm super weak. What's this? Look, we gotta wrap this one up.
Let's wrap it up.
We got a couple more coming though.
Let's go.
And we be back for another episode of Uncomfortable Growth with Jazz.
And Jazz.
See y'all next time.